Right, I'm joined by Dorking manager Marc White after today's 2-1 home defeat in the Surrey derby to Woking. Marc, just quick thoughts on the game.
Well, my thoughts are, if I'm really, really honest, it was a shit game. It was a poor game. You know, we always critique things properly here. I want to credit Woking for getting the win. I want to credit especially their supporters. Thank you very much for, you know, following your team across Surrey and helping us as a club. That's much appreciated. I thought it was a poor game. I thought it was so broken up, it was unbelievable. Definitely not a spectacle. You know what you're going to get when you play Woking, to be quite honest with you. That is the bottom line. I mean, it's not speaking ill of the dead. They're a direct side. They want to outwork you. I made enough mistakes in that game as well. Changes. Although, I'll be honest, it is difficult at the moment. I'm trying to make changes to protect players that I know are injured. I'm making changes that I'm having to predict what might happen in the 60th minute because I know the boys that are playing, and obviously we've got a huge amount of unavailability. But I made changes today that I wouldn't make in retrospect. We went more direct second half, and I thought that was a decision that I made. And that went against us. I thought the story of the game was I thought we went into the half the better side just about in a really drab affair. And we started the second half really well. Dan Gallagher has a great chance. Jimmy Mewett gets into some good areas. It was just when the game got broke up, Tom. There was like 2 injuries, 1 to each team, lengthy ones. Then the linesman went down.
Yeah.
And they scored off the back of one of those lengthy breaks. And the game just almost never recovered. It was so fragmented, you know. And, from that good start to the second half, we didn't recover. I thought Woking were a better side after they scored their goal. I thought, you know, our lads, their energy and competitiveness at 2-1 down wasn't good enough. Not when that many fans come out to see you play the local rivals. Was that will or skill? You know, was it the fact that a lot of boys are struggling out there? I don't think there's any excuses with that to a degree. They've had a week off. I thought going direct or director played into Woking's hands.
Yeah.
Like the game got stretched, and if you don't win the first and second battles, they'll just put the ball back on you and they'll create 1v1 scenarios, which is what they've done for their goals. So definitely tactically at half time I got that one a little bit wrong. Players not great, disappointed with them, and as a spectacle a poor game. But listen, they had, for Ian and that running Woking, they've, you know, 5 L's next to their name, mate. They'll take it however it comes, and you know, at least they'll go home happy, having a really bad spell. That's how football works. But I thought the only other thing I'll say is that our home form is abysmal, and that's not good enough. You know, I think the boys have got to apply themselves better for these home games, and we need to find a little bit more of that old sort of character that we found. It's not often we don't have a flourish and finish like a steam train in front of our fans, but today, you know, we didn't finish like anything. So, apologies to the fans. That wasn't good enough. It's a tight league. We're under pressure in terms of player availability. We've got boys we're trying to play like Alfie, Jimmy, that have not had pre-seasons, and they're way off it. That's the bottom line. I didn't want to take Charlie Carter off, but if he does his hamstring in the 70th...
You told me before pre-game you were saying you're going to do 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly that. The idea was neither of him or Alfie can do 90 minutes, so do 45 each. Shouldn't have took Morrow off. Bad decision. So it was a battle of the bad decisions, really, that from the players, from the management team. It wasn't a great day, but you know, we blame officials and all that, and you know, so we have to be man enough to sit there and say we've not had a great day today collectively, management team, all the players. But 10, 15 minutes into the second half, it's probably a game that we'll go on and win.
Yeah.
But the stoppages just seem to kill the game. Not quite sure how it's only 10 minutes added on, but it could have been a lot more than that probably, and nothing would have happened, mate.
Yeah.
Poor performance.
Well, looking ahead to next week away at Eastleigh just before Christmas, and then Boxing Day at home to Oxford City. You expecting any of the injured mob to come back at all for those games?
Well, yeah, we'll have a look this week. Jason Briggs, Pipers, we'll have a little look this week. I think we need to have a look at some of the other boys, like Isaac and that are fresh, and see how the boys train this week. The problem is getting them back's one thing, and getting them back fit is another. That's the issue we've got, because it's match fitness that a lot of the boys miss. And we keep beating on about it, but listen, I'm sitting here taking a lot of blame and all the rest, and saying it weren't good enough. But we are obviously under a lot of pressure right now with the availability we've got. But yeah, we lost a poor game. We lost a poor game today. It was a really shit game. That's where it is. But I would have said the same. I'm sure people that know me know, if we'd have won the game, I'd have said the same thing. It was a shit game.
But I mean, in terms of the division as it stands, it's very tight. 2 points above the drop zone, but equally, 1 point away from being in the top half.
Yeah. I mean, mate, listen, mate, you've just got to write that one off. But what I don't write off is that many fans supporting the boys, and then, just individuals that are just, I thought could have given a little bit more. Realistically, it's not easy to critique because it's fragmented. You've got boys that you want to give more that can't, boys you think should give a bit more that maybe could have had a better game, and then you've got all the 150,000 decisions that we're having to take right now that are not football based, because it's who's the least injured, who can do the most minutes, blah blah blah. So look, Woking done what they've done, do really well. They stayed in the game, very similar to last year, but not. No, last year's game with two really good sides, and the 3-3 at their place last year was two really good sides. But they stayed in the game today, which is what they've done last year, and that's what they do. They just keep prodding and poking, and they make you know that if you take your foot off the pedal, they will outwork you. And they needed a win, and they've got to win in the way that they know, which is just to work harder than teams. But we've got to give more at Meadowbank for our fans.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, Mark, and
cheers, mate.
Good luck next week.
Cheers, mate.